Assalamu alaikum. This is Btv Chattogram welcoming you to the English news from Btv Chattogram. Let's begin with the top stories. Nation set to pay glowing tributes to language martyrs with due respect tomorrow. Government takes strict stance to prevent price hike of goods, says Finance Minister Amir Khosru Mohammad Chaudhary. Government selling milk, eggs, cow and broiler chicken meat at affordable prices to continue till 28th Ramadan. Tension escalating in Middle East as U.S. administration intensifying buildup of vast military assets in the region. Viewers, those were the top stories, and now moving on to the details. The nation is set to pay glowing tributes to language martyrs tomorrow, marking the Shohid Dibosh and the International Mother Language Day with due respect. On that day of the 21st of February in 1952, Salam, Jabbur, Shofiq, Barkut and Rofiq embraced martyrdom in police firing in front of the Dhaka Medical College and Hospital as they took to the streets defying Section 144 to intensify the campaign to establish Bangla as a state language. UNESCO recognized the 21st of February as the International Mother Language Day in 1999. In observance of the day, the central Shohid Minar premises is being decorated with paintings, graffiti, buntings, and selected verses of the mother language. Different political, social, cultural, and professional bodies have chalked out various programs, including cultural functions in Chattogram as elsewhere in the country, to observe the Amre Kushe in a befitting manner. The national flags will be kept half-mast in a proper manner, having accurate size at all the buildings of government, semi-government, autonomous, and private organizations and educational institutions. President Mohammad Shahabuddin and Prime Minister Tariq Rahman have issued separate messages on the occasion of the day. Both the President and the Premier will lead the nation to pay respect to language martyrs by placing wreaths at the central Shohid Minar at 1 minute past 0 hour. Satellite TV channels and radio stations, including Bangladesh Television and Bangladesh Betar, will broadcast special programs marking the day. Newspapers will publish special supplements and articles highlighting the importance and history of the day. Dhaka Metropolitan Police DMP Commissioner SM Sajjad Ali said flawless and multi-layered security arrangements have been put in place at the central Shohid Minar and its surrounding areas marking the day. The Rapid Action Battalion RAB has deployed sufficient members across the country, including the capital, to ensure foolproof security marking the Great Martyrs Day and International Mother Language Day. The deployment began today and will continue through February 22nd. 20th February 1952 was a day filled with a sense of waiting if the nation was preparing for something historic to happen. In Dhaka, Section 144 had been imposed for a month, banning all public gatherings, processions, and political activities. The sweeping restriction came in response to growing demands to recognize Bangla as a state language of East Pakistan. Amid intense debate over whether to deny the ban, student leaders eventually resolved to break Section 144 and proceed with their planned programs on 21st February. The decision marked a critical moment in the language movement. Later that evening, the All-Party Language Action Committee convened a meeting. State Language Action Committee's Dhaka University Governor Abdul Mutin strongly converted and advocated for defying Section 144. His proposal received broad support, setting the language for a historic act of resistance. The following day, students took to the streets, breaking the ban in a bold assertion of their linguistic and cultural rights. In the face of police action, several young protesters laid down their lives to protect the dignity on their mother language, tongue, and culture. Finance and Planning Minister Amir Khosrow Mahmood Chaudhry has issued strict instructions to prevent the increase in the price of goods in the country due to delays in post-based cargo movement. He told this to reporters after exchanging views with stakeholders of the Chattogram port at his residence at Mehdibag in the city this afternoon. The finance minister said the price of goods has increased due to some problems at the port, which is also affecting the country's industry, trade, and public life. BGMEA, Shipping Agents Association, Chittagong Chamber of Commerce and Industry, leaders of the transport sector, Chattogram Port Authority, and stakeholders at various levels of port users participated in the view exchange meeting. The speakers at the meeting identified various problems and made recommendations to make the port's activities more dynamic, including rationalizing port tariffs and closing syndicates in the transport sector. Earlier, the Finance and Planning Minister exchanged views with party leaders and activists. The leaders and activists greeted him with flowers. The Department of Fisheries and Livestock has launched a month-long initiative to sell milk, eggs, beef, and dressed broiler chicken at subsidized prices, marking the holy month of Ramadan. The sales program will continue until the 28th of Ramadan at 25 designated spots across the capital, as well as at district and upazila levels nationwide. Authorities said monitoring teams have been deployed to oversee the distribution process and prevent irregularities. Iftar and Sehri arrangements have been started in Chattogram city under the initiative of Bidanand Foundation and City Corporation for the Rootless Fasting People. The city mayor Dr. Shahadat Hussain inaugurated the program at the city's Biplap Uddan yesterday. The mayor said the city corporation is happy to support the initiative taken by Bidanand Foundation for the underprivileged people during the month of Ramadan. He said such initiatives will be continued also in the future. Bidanand Foundation board member Jamaluddin, among others, addressed the occasion. Now, international news. The tension of war is once again escalating in the Middle East as the United States administration is intensifying its buildup of the vast array of military asset in the region. U.S. President Donald Trump said Iran has 10 to 15 days at most to agree a deal over its nuclear program and stock of ballistic missiles, as well as the world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, which is reportedly joining the Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group in the Arabian Sea. Key force multipliers such as E-3 Sentry airborne warning and control system aircraft have been deployed. At a letter to the United Nations Security Council, Iran said, while the country does not seek tension or war or will not initiate a war, any U.S. aggression will be responded to decisively and proportionately. It said the United States would bear full and strict and direct responsibility for any unpredictable and uncontrolled consequences. A proposed board of peace is at the forefront of a reconstruction plan for the Gaza Strip, devastated by Israeli aggression, under an initiative led by U.S. President Donald Trump. The long-anticipated body convened its first meeting on Thursday morning. Representatives from at least 40 countries, including Hungary and Argentina, along with senior government and state officials, took part. Several key allies from Europe, however, were not in attendance. Participating nations collectively pledged $7 billion in financial assistance toward Gaza's reconstruction. The conference opened with music associated with Trump's election campaigns, and attendees were presented with red MAGA, America Great Again style caps bearing the letters USA. The United States delegation included Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and Presidential Advisor Jared Kushner. Addressing a public gathering, Trump said, "What we are doing is very simple. Peace," describing it as one of the straightforward concepts that is difficult to implement. U.S. officials said the discussions focused on maintaining the Gaza ceasefire, expanding humanitarian assistance, forming a national administrative committee for Gaza, and establishing an international stabilization force. A collision between a truck and a passenger pickup in Egypt's northeastern port said province has left 18 people dead and 3 others injured. The crash occurred on the 30th June access highway to the south of Port Said. The pickup truck was transporting fishermen to work at fish farms in the coastal Port Said area.